is 5 o'clock. Here is the world news at 5. First, the top stories. Ogun Assembly OK's bill providing free 3-day Medicare for accident victims. Senate and House of Representatives passed the 2017 appropriation bill. NUT says 28 state governments are owing teachers' salaries. Delta State House of Assembly impeaches Speaker Majority Leader. In foreign, 22 guests killed, 26 injured by collapsing wall at a wedding party in India. President Museveni says economic growth important than human rights. Good evening, I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan, bringing you the news in detail shortly. And now the news in detail. Road accident victims are to enjoy free medical treatment for 3 days at a public or private hospitals in Ogun State. This followed the passage of the Ogun State Accident Victims First Aid Bill by the State House of Assembly. The bill provides for the establishment of a trust fund for the emergency treatment of victims of road accident through the sale of the fund emblem to motorists whose vehicles ply roads in the state, and financial contributions from corporate organizations, wealthy individuals, as well as government agencies and non-governmental organizations. The Speaker, Suraj Adekumi, ordered that the clean copy of the bill be sent to Governor Ibekune Amosun for his assent. The House Chief Whip, Idowu Oluofuja, who sponsored the bill, speaking with Rock City FM shortly after its passage, throws more light on the bill.
Will ask you to go and bring police report. They didn't address that. Nobody will ask you to deposit any form of money before they can trace accident victim, because most of the hospitals that is in this state is registered with the hospital management board, and you will have all their name with them. All these hospitals will register name. We have access to form. The bill address that victims should be treated with this.
The wives of the governors in the southwest, southeast, and south-south regions are meeting in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. They are holding their 3-day quarterly meeting where several issues will be discussed. The First Lady is led by their chairperson, Inyona Okorocha, visited the governor's office at Okemoso to pay a courtesy call on Governor Ibekune Amosun. Both the Senate and the House of Representatives have passed the 2017 appropriation bill. The bill was passed 6 months after President Buhari presented it to a joint session of the National Assembly last December. Both chambers passed the bill after adopting the report of the Appropriation Committee. Earlier, there was a rowdy session during debate in the bill, as most of the senators opposed a recurrent budget of 51.9 billion naira voted for the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The chamber was rocked with protest of the senators who wanted the vote to be deleted from the bill. Nigeria Union of Teachers, NUT, says 28 state governments are owing teachers' salaries. NUT President Michael Aluba made this known in Abuja at a workshop organized by the Educational International and Union. Aluba did not name the affected state but accused them of being insensitive to the plight of the teachers. He also states the opposition of the union to the retention of public primary school teachers by the local government in the proposed financial autonomy recommended in the ongoing amendment of the 1999 Constitution. He warns that putting primary education in the control of the local government under the proposed financial autonomy will kill the primary education system. The presidency has described as a distraction the controversy that the letter sent by President Buhari to the National Assembly to notify it of his fresh medical vacation is generating. Buhari, in a letter to the National Assembly, says Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, in his absence, will coordinate activities in the presidency. Senator Onwuboa started the controversy while the letter was being read at the Senate plenary. The senator argues that Buhari, by asking Osinbajo to coordinate government activities instead of naming him as the acting president, has failed to transfer powers in line with the Constitution. But Information and Culture Minister Alhaji Lai Mohammed, addressing the State House correspondent after the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council presided over by Osinbajo, says the controversy is unnecessary and a distraction. According to the Minister, Buhari in his letter referred to the operating word in Section 145 of the Constitution. Meanwhile, acting President Yemi Osinbajo had met with former Vice President Namadi Sambo at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Monday Igboya, has been impeached. The Speaker was impeached along with the House Majority Leader, Tim Owofere, by 22 members out of the 29 members of the Assembly. Immediately, the lawmakers elected Sheriff Oborevori as the new Speaker. The impeached Speaker and the Majority Leader were absent from the sitting of the House, presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Friday Osanabi, after 7 a.m. The new Speaker and members of the House later visited the Government House in Asaba to brief Governor Ifeanyi Okonwa on the change of leadership. Kano State House of Assembly has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi, for alleged abuse of office. The decision was taken following a motion raised by a member of the Assembly, Ibrahim Gama, who accused the Emir of committing 8 offences. In the motion, Gama recalls that the Emir sometimes this year accused Governor Ganduje and the State House of Assembly of mismanaging the resources of the state during their visit to China. Gama also accused the Emir of debasing the traditional institution by sending his daughter to represent him at an event in Abuja and calls for a revisit of the investigation of the Kano Emirate finance. The 8-member committee headed by the Assembly's Chief Whip is given 14 days to submit its report. You're still listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business and sport news. Please do stay with us. On the foreign scene, at least 22 people were killed when a wall collapsed during a wedding party in northern India. The guests had taken shelter from heavy rain under a tin shack when a wall collapsed onto it in the storm. Another 26 people were injured in the accident in Bharatpur, a district in Rajasthan state, 15 of them seriously injured. Local media reports say food stalls had been set up along the wall for the wedding. They reported that the wall was nearly 90 feet long and 12 to 13 feet in height, and the collapse trapped many guests. A moderate earthquake that struck close to the Earth's surface killed 8 people and injured more than 20 others in far western China. The morning quake struck in Takorgan County, a remote mountainous area that borders Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan in China's Xinjiang region. The Xinjiang Earthquake Administration said more than 180 houses had collapsed in the lightly populated area. China's deadliest earthquake this century, a 7.9 magnitude trembler with a depth of 19 kilometers, struck Sichuan province in May 2008, killing nearly 90,000 people. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has said that economic growth is more important than human rights. Museveni sharing some thoughts on his Twitter account after his meeting with European Union diplomat Steve Kampala says it is okay to talk of human and other rights, but growth of the economy should be the first right to emphasize. He thanked the EU for supporting the construction of roads, but urged it to do more to support Uganda's general economic development. According to the Ugandan leader, if economy grows, costs go down, private investors are attracted, and the future becomes easy to handle. He, however, insisted that economic growth must take priority over human rights. Now in business. Nigeria's oil production is to receive a boost as the Forcados oil pipeline is set to resume loading crude oil for export. The major pipeline operated by the Royal Dutch Shell in the Warri axis of Delta State was damaged early last year in militant attacks on oil facilities in the Niger Delta region. Reports say that Shell is testing the pipeline for the resumption of between 200,000 barrels of crude oil daily to 240,000 barrels daily, which had been shut down for the past month. The country's daily oil production, according to NNPC, had hit 2 million barrels daily as of last month, but still below OPEC quota for Nigeria. Finally, in the world news at 5, sport news. Gateway United of Abeokuta has recorded her first home draw of the season in the ongoing Nigerian National League after being forced to a 1-1 draw by visiting Bayelsa United of Yenagoa at the Dipo Dino Stadium in Ijebu-Ode. The visiting team opened the scoring in the first half through Samuel Akimbinu before Gateway equalized in the 50th minute of the game through Peter Emmanuel. Gateway United later failed to take advantage of the spot kick after an infringement on the player of the team. With the result, Gateway United is now on 22 points with Bayelsa United, who are both contenders for promotion to the Elite League. The FIFA Council has ratified the decision to give Africa 9 automatic places when the World Cup expands to 48 teams in 2026. The move was confirmed on Tuesday in Bahrain. The continent currently has 5 spots at the tournament. A 10th African country will take part in a 6-nation playoff tournament to decide the last 2 spots. The Bureau of the FIFA Council made the original proposal of how it plans to allocate the 48 places on March 30. The expanded World Cup will feature 16 teams from Europe. FIFA members voted in January to expand the World Cup from 32 to 48 teams, starting with the 2026 edition. This was the world news at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Ogun Assembly okayed bill providing free 3-day Medicare for accident victims. Senate and House of Representatives passed the 2017 appropriation bill. NUT said 28 state governments were owing teachers' salaries. Delta State House of Assembly impeached Speaker, Majority Leader. On the foreign scene, we told you that 22 guests killed, 26 injured by collapsing wall at a wedding party in India. And also reported was President Museveni said economic growth important than human rights. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan. Good evening.